Everyone who clicked on this video knows exactly what it feels like to be loyal to someone who, at first, you think they're worth it, only to be treated less than how you deserve in that relationship. When life gets tough, loyalty is a huge asset in a partnership. But have you ever found that you have a pattern of remaining loyal to people no matter how they treat you, even after they've dumped you? And have you also noticed how some people out there seem to laugh at you if you can't go through dating or a breakup remaining completely detached? They are the ones doling out the detached advice like, oh, he dumped you, go get under someone else, or hey man, she cheated on you, she's for the streets. They make it sound so easy. So why do you continue to invest your loyalty? Why can't you just walk away? Well, gee, maybe it's because, I don't know, you actually cared about your partner. You're someone who believes in trying to work through problems. Plus, you've probably already made an enormous investment into that relationship. Yeah, we've all been there. Hello friends, my name is Maria, and just like you, one of the biggest mistakes I used to make in relationships was putting my trust too soon into someone I was excited about, but I didn't really know yet. I invested too much, too soon, and making the decision to commit to someone and be loyal to them in the form of your time, your energy, and your money for the long haul, that's one of the biggest investments you can ever make. But when you spend your life and your relationships trying to do everything you're told and be loyal to those that you love, only to be cheated on, abandoned, walked all over, and then they turn around and try to make everything sound like it's your fault, like it's something wrong with you, it's easy to get fed up and decide you're never going to trust anyone ever again. And while there are no guarantees in life, there are lessons that can teach you how to find a genuine relationship with someone who reciprocates your investment and values your loyalty. So if you're like me, and you are tired of holding the bag for people who turn out to be total users, and you're beginning to wonder if you can ever trust the dating world ever again, then grab that bottle of nail polish and let's talk. You would be amazed how often I hear stories where the person who is ditching you is the one who originally sought you out. They chased you down. People come into our lives and they act like they are so excited about a future together. They are completely convincing, and you jump in with both feet, only for them to bail on you. Even if they don't actually dump you, they emotionally check out of the relationship. And then when you become justifiably upset and you have a few concerns, they turn around and tell you you're just being dramatic. Or they put all the blame on you without taking a whiff of responsibility. I mean, come on, guys. You know how they are, and you chose to stay in that crappy relationship. What? Oh, what's? No, don't look over here to the first few months of dating when they chose to bait and switch you and show up as someone completely different than who they actually are. Has this ever happened to you? Yeah, it's happened to me too. Valuing your time, honoring your boundaries, and taking things slow before you invest all of your loyalties into a person you don't really know is crucial when it comes to attracting the kind of relationships that you want. However, at some scary point, you're going to have to put your neck on the line and take a leap because love is worth it. But even if it doesn't work out, if you have not spent the entire relationship compromising yourself, you can take the hit and walk away with dignity, knowing that even though it's a breakup and it feels awful right now, you are going to be okay. Win or lose, you'll be surprised how much you don't regret. These are things that help you level up all kinds of relationship dynamics throughout your life. And I'd like to tell you how I know that. When you spend a lot of time with someone, the relationship naturally wants to grow. Even avoidants know when it's time for a relationship to grow because that's when they cut it off at the knees and sabotage it. 2 years ago, I started this channel and we have spent every week together. Last week, I made the biggest investment I've ever made into our relationship. I finally purchased more professional filming equipment. Now, it's not the actual price tag of the equipment that's important. The significance of the purchase is it's the most I've ever gone in. It's the most I've ever spent since we met 2 years ago. It's the most I've ever taken the leap and invested into this business. I shoot these videos on a very outdated Android. As far as the writing and production goes, I'm pretty much a one-man band, and my shirts, well, $4 shirts from a local arts and crafts store. I have been loyal, showing up every week, but I have still taken things very slow because a little over a decade ago, I started my very first business, rushed into a partnership with a man that I did not know well enough. And not only did the entire thing implode, but I lost years, precious years of my professional career remaining loyal to a partner even after he ditched me. When we first met, he talked about how excited he was for the business, but the moment we pulled the trigger, made the commitment, and signed the papers, he abandoned everything. I mean, he completely mentally checked out. And not just mentally, he physically checked out as well. This guy, who in the beginning was always up for a phone call or a lunch date, he never came into the shop anymore. And slowly but surely, whenever I would send him an email, it would take him anywhere from 10 days to 2 weeks to respond to me, always saying, "My apologies, I've just been so busy." It felt weirdly like he had all the control in the relationship, even though I was the one who was actually present every day, doing all of the work. Life, relationships, and businesses all go up and down. And because I didn't have the partner I needed when business was down, the entire thing crumbled. Relationships are a job. It's hard work, and it involves 2 people. So if only one of those people is showing up, it doesn't matter how dedicated they are. In the long run, it's not going to work out. And of course, when everything ended, my ex-partner turned around and put the entire collapse of the business solely on my shoulders. I mean, how could it be his fault? He was never there. Boy, what a convenient excuse for him to avoid any accountability. If I could go back and do it all over again, I either would have found a new partner who backed up their excited words with actions, or I just would have walked away. It's easy for me to say that now, but back then, with the scarcity mindset I had, that would have been impossible. And of course, during that time, I was still left feeling like even though I was the one there every day doing all the work, if only I had done more, perhaps this relationship could have succeeded. When people ask me if I miss my old shop, I say no. It's not even just that I don't miss it. I have so many regrets about it, like remaining loyal to a situation that wasn't working for far too long, and remaining loyal to a partner who wasn't there for me when I needed them, even though they promised me they would be. One big lesson I've learned is you cannot be there for someone who is not there. I've said in my past videos that I'm a patterns person, like the day I sat down, painted my nails, and went through all of my relationship patterns that had not served me very well in the past. One of the biggest ones being pledging my undying loyalty to people who had not deserved it. And I did this in all kinds of different relationships. You know, how you do one thing, it's how you do everything. These patterns weren't just in my relationships, they leaked into my businesses. I mean, that business turned incredibly toxic. Anyone who knew me could just see that I was stressed out to the max. I had no bandwidth to grow personally or professionally anymore because I was completely wrapped up in this dysfunctional relationship that probably should have ended 4 or 5 years sooner than it did. I saw red flags from the very beginning, and even though I was only in my 20s, I had this scarcity mindset telling me that this was the best deal I was ever going to get in my life. I was listening to an insecure inner voice that was telling me I would never get a better offer than this. And it was total crap. But because I truly believed it, I tolerated the one-sided relationship, and I was determined that I needed to make it work. And I can't gloss over the fact that I also stayed because I was attracted to the look of the potential of the business. Well, that didn't work out, but welcome to the other half, where we know attraction is not just about looks. We also need to take care of the inner half, because it doesn't matter how good the potential of a relationship looks. How does it make you feel? Like the best, strongest, most fulfilled version of yourself? Or like you have completely been compromised? Leveling up relationships always involves the bravery of being willing to take risks. And as safe as you try to play it, ultimately, you're gonna have to take a big risk. Take the lessons that you have learned from your past relationships and use them to build trust within yourself, that you can recognize that feeling, listen to your gut. I am 100% aware that just because I'm now willing to make a bigger investment in this relationship, it doesn't mean it's gonna work out exactly how I want it to. But even if this channel shut down today, I would never regret one moment of it, because I never compromised myself in this process. From the very start, I have loyally posted one video a week, and even in small ways, you guys have always shown me that you're willing to give something back. When I get up here and talk to you, you're down in the comments talking back. When I was able to get a super thanks button, you donated. When I offered a membership, you joined. And when I offered to help you find clarity over the phone, you called me. And although every relationship involves hard work and stress, the good days vastly outweigh the bad. That's a sign that you can trust you are on the right path. If your relationship went away, how much would you regret it ever happened in the first place? When you finally get some distance and the fog of the breakup lifts, how do you feel? Do you feel like an idiot for getting sucked into their nonsense in the first place? Or if you could go back, would you do it again? Or you simply don't regret the relationship? Or you're glad to have had the experience with them? I definitely waited longer than I normally would have investing in this channel and our relationship. And it is not because I'm not excited about your interest in the channel. And it is certainly not because I don't think you're a good looking bunch. I've just learned to first decide for myself what I want in my life, and then go out and take a couple of steps and look around and see if there's any reciprocal interest coming back at me. Nothing in life that's worth anything comes easy, and there will always be obstacles in relationships to overcome. But if this relationship ain't doing anything except keeping you at arm's length and kicking you in the gut every step of the way, well, that's a good sign it's time for you to take your beautiful loyalties in a different direction. We've been together for 2 years now. That is a significant amount of time, and I am confident enough in our relationship that the bigger investment, no matter how the chips might fall, it's totally worth the risk. So I'm going to take some time, and I'm going to learn how to use this new equipment, and I'm going to try to do it as fast as I can. But even if next week I'm going to have to play a rerun on this channel, I'm still going to be there, available to you in the comments. I'm still going to be available on Gmail if you want to Gmail me with one of your relationship stories. We're still going to have a new member video next week, and I'm still going to be available to you if you want to have a phone session with me. You see, here's the most important thing to remember. Yeah, I'm going to be busy, but I'm still going to be available to you, because people who care about you, even though they might have something really important going on in their life, they still show up for you. When you care about something, when you care about people, you show up. And even after all these years, I have never changed my opinion on that, but I sure as hell have changed the kind of people I decide to show up for. And I've changed my timeline for how fast I'm willing to just invest all of my loyalty into something. And maybe for some people that timeline is a little slow, but especially for people like us that have trauma or attachment wounds, we have unfortunately learned the devastating consequences of rushing in too soon. Build trust with yourself by being honest, and realize that it's okay to admit that because of things that you've been through in your life, even though you can care for people and enjoy the time that you spend getting to know them, you still might need a little more time and go a little slower in observing people who claim they want to be a part of your life. Don't let this modern dating world push you into something faster than you're comfortable with. You absolutely have the right to date and get to know people at your own pace that you have set for yourself. And if unsatisfied people in unfulfilling modern situationships roll their eyes at you, call you old-fashioned, and tell you you're going too slow, just smile at them and say, nah, I'm white on time. If this video helped you, so will this one. My name is Maria Adriana. You did not have to live my life, but I certainly hope you can learn something from it. As always, thank you for visiting the other half. And I'll see you very soon.